This session will focus on plugging in local data sets to the Arizona NextGen 911 address management solution. We will learn to add local data sets by appending the site structure address points and the road center lines to the template feature classes provided in the solution. We're going to assume that you've already downloaded the desktop application template from AZGO and go ahead and open the NG911 Address Management Solution Pro project file. Project now open, we will want to use the map ribbon and select the Add Data button. Selecting Add Data to the map. Now we will navigate in our file directory to the local site structure address points and road center lines that we want to append or add to the feature class templates. You will be appending your local data set to an empty feature class. The data now added, we will need to pull up or look for the geoprocessing tool called Append. Here I have geoprocessing pane docked, but for those of you who might not, we want to go to the Analysis ribbon, select Tools, and that'll bring up the geoprocessing search. In that search, we would like to type in Append, and that'll bring up the data management tool called Append. To configure the geoprocessing tool, we will need to set the input data set to our local data set. In this case, we're looking at Graham County Site Structure Address Points, GC_SSAP, and the target data set will be the Site Structure Address Points feature class template that is in the address management solution. For field matching type, we would like to set the use the field map to reconcile field differences and work through the process of field mapping the output fields to the source fields. As we do this, we're looking for any output fields that have a parenthesis 0 and then adding a new source in the source data to match or map to the source data. This is going to make sure when we append the data, none of those attributes that weren't naturally matched in the tool are missed. So here you can see the site street pre-type has a slightly different spelling in the source data, which made the natural mapping not catch that. So by checking it and hitting select, we are able to add a field that otherwise would not have been mapped. So very important to take time in this step, review the source data compared to the output fields, and map as many of the attributes or fields that you are able to and that you have in your local data set. So here, MSAG community, you're seeing we check the box next to it and then we hit the Add Selected button. We make our way down the list of the output fields, and if there are no more fields to be mapped, we can go ahead and hit the Run button. That will begin the appending process. With the append process complete, we want to go through and verify that the data indeed transferred over or appended to the feature class template site structure address points. First, we look for a spatial confirmation that the data indeed was appended to our feature class template. And you can see here we have the custom labeling as well as the symbology that is applied or available in the address management solution. Secondly, we want to be sure to check the attribute table. We take our time to review the attributes and the different fields and be sure that records were correctly populated and are accurate. So a quick scan across the attribute table will help to confirm that. Everything looks good, and we'll take a look at appending the road centerline feature class from the local data that was provided by Graham County, and we will use the target data set as the road centerline feature class template. We will use the same field matching type, which is using the field map to reconcile differences through the same process of matching any of the output fields with the parentheses 0 next to them to the source data that aligns with it. So again, taking your time to work through this process really helps on the back end, ensuring that all of the feature classes or attributes that are in the local source data are transferred over to the road centerline feature class template in the address management solution. While the append tool is running, I like to go to my table of contents or my contents pane and actually remove the site structure address point feature class, and eventually we'll remove the local roads feature class as well. Removing those local data sets for me helps clear any confusion about potentially beginning editing in those features. So just a little tip. With the tool now complete, we should take the time to review the road centerline attribute table and ensure that all of the records and attributes were correctly populated into the road centerline feature class template in the address management solution. As we pan across the attribute table, we can see that the append tool correctly appended the data set to the template. For review, we learned how to add our local data set to the address management solution, as well as utilizing the geoprocessing tool called Append to append both the site structure address points and the road centerline data sets to the feature class templates in the address management solution. We can now take a deeper dive into the NG911 Editing Pro project template by reviewing the Getting Started training video or looking at some of the site structure address point or road center line editing tool template videos. Happy mapping!